Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. If you want to find out anything about me, go to Facebook where I have a page. This here are about hostels, particularly the ones in Hawaii. The first thing I can tell you that if you're an American, that is, uh, you need to join the hostel organization. You can find them on the net. I think it's used to be like $86 a year or something like that. That way you can stay at just about hostel just about anywhere. The ones in Hawaii, some of them don't require it because hostels usually are generally set up for foreigners, to stay at. It's not really meant to be a place for some Americans, particular. The only time they usually will really take in Americans is when they're I don't know, they don't have enough people staying there, because they gotta have an income. But the ones in Hawaii, they used to be pretty bad, pretty raunchy, pretty dirty, but they really gotten better. But with the improvements, the cost has gone up. The one on the Oahu, all the hostel there used to be pretty cheap, $15 a night sometimes. The one on the Big Islands, I stayed in one time for a month back in '98, and it was like 25 a night. But the hostels, they have, bunk beds, most of them do, showers, uh, place to cook food and stuff. You're not really going to be there all that often, because you don't go to Hawaii to sit in some room somewhere. You're out there, enjoying yourself and so forth. Uh, you can put they do have a place to put your luggage where it can be locked up. And as I said, a lot of them are better. But before you ever go to a hostel, especially in Hawaii, with the internet, make sure you check them out really well. Make sure everything is up to date. You see the picture of what they look like, and make sure you get the cost. But on the outer islands like the Big Island, Maui, Kauai, the hostel, the cost is going to be higher. And Oahu, there's so many of them that the cost, of course, is lower because there's competition. But again, I would strongly suggest that you join the hostel organization. I would do that first. That will get you in there a little bit better, because a lot of times they're really designed for foreigners, that are just coming through for a few days and then they're gone. Because most people that come to a hostel are not there for very long. Now, the one I stayed at in Kailua Kona on the Big Island, we had people out there that were paying like $5 a night. And what they did, they brought their own tents, and they would sleep on the grounds of the hostel instead of the inside of it. But they still had access to the showers, bathrooms, the kitchen. They could have their luggage locked away, and that was it. $5 a night, and they just stayed outside. Only bad part about it was when it rained, and every now and then you get a flooding rain. That wasn't too pleasurable. Luckily, the month that I was there, we didn't have that, so I don't know what they did when that happened. Sometimes you can stay free at a hostel if there's an opening, if you help out. Like they had one guy that was there who would clean floors and clean up for 2 hours a day. Usually around 12 to 2 or 1 to 3 or something like that. And he got to stay there for free, but he was like a regular. He was, going to be there for a few months. And so they hired him to do that. So sometimes you stay free that way. Although, it's got to be by chance. And of course, anytime you go somewhere like to Hawaii, and you have a particular hostel, checking out, of course, call, make sure they're still open, they're still there, and that you can stay there. That's very, very important. That's the great thing about the internet now. You can look ahead and see what's, where they're all located at. When it used to be, you couldn't really do that unless you went to some library or some bookstore and got a book on them. So when all the hostels I stayed at, it was, just by chance. It was just, I ended up there. And I found them to be, more than acceptable. But a person that's not accustomed to being around with other people, you might not like that very much. But it's cheaper and it saves you some money. Boy, will it save you some money. Because back then, I think the cheapest room you'd ever find in Kailua Kona at a hotel or motel, actually just hotels, was like $60. And this was 25 a night. And again, that one there didn't have any time you had to leave. A lot of them you have to be gone like part of the day, like 12 to 3. You can't be at the hostel. You got to be gone. Maybe they want to clean it or stuff like that. I don't think that one did. I don't know, because I was gone most of the time, and sometimes I was gone up till about midnight. So, but you'll meet a lot of people, a lot of interesting people there, a lot of foreigners, and some of the best people I've met in life were people that were just passing through. And I was just there for a month back in '98, and really enjoyed it and so forth. And again, it'll save you a budget. But remember, if you are short on money, that's the best place to stay. And again, if you have a tent or something, you might get one Salvation Army somewhere if you don't have one. Ask them what it would cost if you wanted to stay out on the grounds. Try that and see what happens. But again, check it out really good. Again, with the internet now, you can really do things that back in the 90s and 80s I couldn't do. Because we didn't have the net, or I didn't have the internet until about 2000, before I got my first computer. So I wish I'd known about it a little bit sooner. It'd been a big help. But check it all out. Check the prices out. But usually on Oahu, you'll probably find them cheaper than you will on the outer islands. I stayed one at Maui one time. It wasn't too bad, and they still got some raunchy ones, out there. But again, it just depends on how long you're going to be there. And they're safe. I've never encountered any problems there. Be careful about the one on Maui. There's one on Maui where they actually have bathrooms and showers that's co-ed. I mean, women and men go in and out at the same time. So if you want your privacy like I did, they have some upstairs. You can go take a shower up there, and up that way it'd be a lot better. But it's for some reason they have designed it that way where there's men and women use the same showers, the same bathrooms, and it's just like a wide open thing, and there's no doors even on the place, so be aware of that. It might not be for you, and it wasn't for me, so I just went to one upstairs, and so forth. But anyway, check that out. That's a great. Hawaii's a great place to visit. I lived there for about 4.5 years, mostly on the Big Island. I lived a little while on Oahu, and really, really enjoyed it, and haven't ruled out moving back there. But you need to take you a lot of money. But if you're single or if you're a couple, you can. And you don't have a whole lot of money, the hostel might be your best bet. But again, check on whether you can live in a tent on the grounds and how long. And if you need to become a member first, that's what you want to do if you can, if you don't mind living in a tent. That is especially if you're just going to be living there, or if you're going to be there for more than a few days. It'll save you a ton of money. People that are wealthy, whatever, of course, they don't have to do that. But if you're just going there to want to stay there a long time, backpacking, biking, or whatever, that's something to consider. I think again, every time you can save, if you're on a budget, matters. Families can't do that, but couples can and singles can. Anyway, thanks for your time, and I hope this little bit of information helped you out.